The following program is made possible by a grant from your local Key Bank in cooperation with Child Fine of America.
Welcome to the Safety Game with your host, Steve Van Zandt.
Thank you, Don, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It sounds like we've got ourselves a great studio audience today. Welcome to the Safety Game, and let's begin by meeting our two teams competing today. First, the red team. We have Daryl, Juliana, Ryan, and Lisa. And on the yellow team, we have Shannon, Sam, Taisha, and Daniel. Welcome to all of you. Of course, today the red team will try to outscore the yellow team by answering the most questions. You all know the rules of the game. We have categories of questions dealing with safety. Each question is worth 10 points. Each team player must answer his or her question without help from their team. If they cannot answer it correctly, the next player up on the other team gets a shot at it. Now, at the end of each category, the team that has the most points in that category will try to solve our mystery puzzle. They have 10 seconds to put their heads together and come up with an answer. If it's right, it's worth 10 big points. If not, the other team gets a chance at it. Okay, let's get started, and good luck to you all. Okay, red team, you won the coin toss, so you're up first. The category deals with dangerous places and dangerous people. Dangerous places and dangerous people. Now, Daryl, you're up first, and here's the question. We all know that you should always avoid dangerous places because that's where trouble usually happens. But the hard part is knowing what a dangerous place is. So, for 1 point each, name 10 dangerous places that kids should avoid.
Well, buildings that are like, vacant. And places where they're doing construction, the dockyards, alleyways, and near the harbor, and playgrounds when there's no one around.
Okay, Daryl, I need 4 more.
And I give up.
Well, that's pretty good, Daryl. You've got 6 points for your team. That's only 6 out of 10. So Shannon on the yellow team, can you name 4 more dangerous places?
Well, public restrooms, near factories, near railroad tracks.
1 more.
And near highways.
That's right. That's 4 points for the yellow team. Nice job. Next question. This time the yellow team gets the first shot at the question. And it's Sam's turn. Here are pictures, Sam, of some dangerous places we just mentioned. Now, for 10 points, why are these places dangerous?
Well, because there's no one around, and there could be people hiding on you, and they can get you when you're not looking. And if there were hiding, there's no one around to help you fight them off.
That's right, for 10 points for the yellow team. Okay, Juliana on the red team, here is your question. If you must go near a dangerous place, for example, through a construction site or an empty park on your way to school, what precautions should you take?
Well, you should never go alone. You should always take a friend along. And you should always tell your parents or someone where you're going to be in case something happens and they need to reach you, or they may know a safer way. And maybe you could take your parents on the route so they could show you where to go if you need help.
That's right, for 10 points. Nice job, red team. Next question for Taisha on the yellow team. Why can strangers be dangerous?
They could get you kidnapped or something.
Judges? It looks like we're going to need a more complete answer.
Well, you never know what a stranger could do to you. You really don't know them. So you don't know if they're the type of person who will hurt you or make you do something you don't want to do.
The judges will accept that, Taisha. In fact, you can never tell a good stranger from a bad one. Okay, Ryan on the red team, for 2 points each. Give 5 examples of people you see regularly, but who are really strangers.
You mean people I see all the time?
That's correct.
There's the school bus driver, the crossing guard,
There's the cash register guy at the store. And there's...
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan, you've run out of time. But you did get 6 points for your team. Okay, Daniel on the yellow team, can you give me 2 others?
A nurse and a neighbor.
That's right, and that gives the yellow team 4 more points. Nice job. Okay, Shannon on the yellow team. Here are pictures of 5 different strangers. One of these is actually a real criminal. Can you tell us which one it is?
Is it number 3?
No, I'm sorry, that's a wrong answer. Lisa, can you answer the question?
Is it 5?
That's also incorrect. Actually, the real criminal is number 4. So we've learned that you can't tell a criminal or a stranger who might hurt you just by looking at them. In fact, you never know if a stranger could hurt you. And the red team has 22, but the yellow team has 28 points in this category. So the yellow team, you have 10 seconds to solve the mystery puzzle. You can decide a right answer among yourselves, but you have 10 seconds only. Remember, this is a phrase that deals with strangers, and here it is. I'll need an answer, yellow team. Yellow team, you've run out of time, so it goes to the red team. Do you have an answer, red team?
Never go with a stranger.
That's correct, and the red team gets 10 more points. That puts the red team in the lead, 32-28. It's a really close game so far. Okay, let's move on to the next category, which is kids who are home alone. Kids who are home alone. Daryl, you're up next, and here's the question. It's a bonus question. Not only a bonus question, but anyone on the red team can answer this question, anyone at all. Okay, watch the screen, and you'll see a scene with a boy who gets home from school while his parents are both at work. After we see this, we'll ask you 6 things that he did that were unsafe. 6 unsafe things, each worth 4 points for this bonus question. Are you ready? Here it is.
Hello?
Hi, is your mom home?
No, she's not. Can I take a message?
How about your dad?
No, he's not either. Can I take a message?
No thanks, I'll call back later.
Okay, bye.
The contract!
Hi, is your mom or dad home?
No, they're not.
You want to sign for this?
Sure.
Right down there. There you go.
Very good.
We tried our best, Mr. J.
Okay, Daryl, this is a bonus question worth 24 big points for your team. For 4 points each, name 6 things that the boy did that were unsafe.
Well, he got the key from under the doormat where anyone could find it. You should never try to hide a key. And the door was already open a little bit, and there could have been a burglar hiding inside. He should have went and told the neighbor instead of going in by himself. And when he got inside, he didn't lock the door behind him. And he shouldn't have answered the door for the delivery man. He should have told him to come back later. And when the phone rang, he shouldn't have answered it because he would have had to tell them that his parents weren't home.
Oh, Daryl, that last one was a wrong answer. That's 16 points, though. And Sam on the yellow team, can you give us the last 2 answers?
Well, He said you shouldn't answer the phone, but I think you can answer the phone and just tell them that your parents can't come to the phone right now, so they don't think that your parents aren't home. And you shouldn't answer the door for the delivery man until he called someone and told them about it first.
That is absolutely right, Sam, for 8 points and the yellow team. Anytime someone comes to your door, you should always call someone. That way you can find out if your parents were expecting a delivery, so you'll know if it was a trick to get in your house. Now, Taisha, your question. For 2 points each, what are the 5 phone numbers that should always be next to your phone?
The fire department,
That's 1.
the police, the ambulance, and your next door neighbor's phone number, and your mother's number at work.
Judges? The judges say that we need a more clear answer. For instance, if you didn't live with your parents, whose phone number should you have?
Well, whoever you were staying with, like your aunt or your uncle, something like that.
That's right, Taisha. Right, for a total of 10 points. Now, if you don't live with your parents, have your guardian's phone number or your closest relative's number close at hand. Okay, for Juliana on the red team, the next question is, what are 3 ways a stranger might trick you into opening the door? And you must get all 3 correct answers. There's no partial points on this one.
Well, he could say, like, he's a maintenance man and he has to fix the sink or toilet. He could say he's got a delivery, like in the video we just saw. And he could say he's a gas man and he has to read the meter.
That's correct for 10 points to the red team. And there's lots of other tricks they can use too, so always be on your guard. And now the last question in this category for Daniel on the yellow team. Name 3 unsafe things you should never do while home alone. That's 3 unsafe things that we have not already mentioned. And again, you must get all 3.
Okay, you shouldn't play with matches. And you shouldn't play with a gun. And you shouldn't play with a knife or sharp stuff in the kitchen.
Judges? Okay, Daniel, we need you to clarify that answer a little bit.
I know. You shouldn't do any cooking at all.
That's right. Don't do any cooking. Very good. And that includes using a stove or a sharp kitchen utensil. And of course, never play with matches or a gun, even if it's not loaded. All right, that's the end of this category. The red team has 58 points, and the yellow team is close behind with 56. A very close race. Now it's time to solve the mystery puzzle. Yellow team, you have the most points in this category, so you have 10 seconds to solve it. It deals with kids who are home alone. Kids who are home alone. Ready? Go! Time's almost up, yellow team. We'll need an answer. Quickly. We need an answer.
Always keep the door locked.
That is correct. Always keep the door locked. That adds 10 points to the yellow team, and that puts you in the lead with 66 points. Nice job. There's still more to come. Anyone could win, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
You say you wanna go real far, or maybe you wanna be a star.
If you wanna have a good life,
Say no to stuff that just ain't right.
like drugs and booze, that's so uncool.
Or hitchhiking or quitting school.
All that stuff is such a drag. You'll really end up in a snag.
No, 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 no.
Just say no.
Say no.
The coolest kids I know, just say no.
Some kids think they got a system down by stealing, just hanging around. Don't fool yourself,
Cause you'll see, my friend,
that the system gets them in the end.
You can really get ahead if you try, if you use your head. That's no jive, you know it's true, cause everyone else is doing it too. Say
No, 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 no.
just say no.
Say no. The hippest kids I know, just say no.
The coolest kids I know, just say
No.
Okay, welcome back. Let's move on to the next category, and that category is sexual abuse. This one's for Ryan on the red team, and it's a multiple choice question worth 10 points, Ryan. Which of the following is sexual abuse? When someone, A, tries to convince you to take off your clothes. B, tries to touch a part of your body that they shouldn't, not counting a doctor here. C, tries to get you to touch them where you shouldn't. Or D, all of the above.
D.
D is correct, right, for 10 points. Now, there are certainly more examples of sexual abuse. For example, when someone tries to take pictures of kids without clothes on. What's important to remember here is that if you ever think there might be sexual abuse, you should stop and try to get away. Shannon, this one's worth 10 points. Who is most likely to sexually abuse you? Someone you know or someone you don't know?
I think it would be someone you know.
That's right, for 10 points. In fact, 80% of all sexual abuse cases involve someone you know. Next question for Lisa on the red team. Lisa, when someone sexually abuses a child, they usually try to convince the child not to tell anyone about it. For 3 points each, what are 3 things they might say to convince the child not to tell anyone?
Well, they could say that if you tell someone, you'll get in trouble because the person you tell will think it's your fault. Or they could say that they'll hurt you or a family member if you tell.
I need one more example. One more, Lisa. Oh, I'm sorry, time's up. But you did get 6 points. Now, Sam, can you name a third example for 3 points? Oh, too late. Lisa, you've got 2 out of 3, but the third example is that they might say your parents won't love you if you tell because it was your fault. They might say that they'll tell your friends, newspapers, whatever. And of course, they might even say other things, all of which are obviously not true. Okay, next question for Taisha on the yellow team. Taisha, if a friend of yours has been sexually abused, what advice should you give them?
I would tell my friend to go back to the person that hurt them and tell them they better not do it again or else I was going to tell.
Oh, I'm sorry, Taisha. That is not a safe thing to do. Daryl on the red team, can you give me the answer?
Well, I say that they should talk to the parents about it. And I think that they should never go back to the person who did it because they could hurt you.
That is absolutely correct. For 10 points, goes to the red team. Next one for Juliana on the red team. And this one is for 10 points. What advice should you give a friend who has been sexually abused if they don't feel comfortable telling their parents or they're afraid to tell them?
Well, I tell them that they should tell another adult, someone they know real well, like a teacher or relative. Or if they felt uncomfortable talking about it at all, I could talk to my parents for them, if they wanted me to.
Very good, Juliana. Very good. Always tell someone you can trust. Never keep quiet about it. Okay, time for our next question. And it's a bonus question worth 20 big points, and it goes to the yellow team. So anyone on the yellow team can answer this bonus question, and here it is. If you're with someone and you suddenly realize that they are trying to sexually abuse you, what 3 things should you do about it? 3 things you should do, and you must get all 3 correct. Go.
Well, I'd probably take off, try to get out of there.
That's right. There are 2 other things you should do.
I'd tell them to cut it out, stop it, and then I'd get out of there and tell my parents or somebody.
Exactly. Good answer, Sam. And that gives the yellow team another 20 points. And now the last question in this category for Ryan on the red team. What should you do if you tell someone that you think you've been sexually abused, but they seem not to believe you?
I'd probably try and tell someone else until they started believing me.
That's right, exactly. And keep on trying until someone believes you and takes action. There are all types of sexual abuse. If you're not comfortable with any kind of behavior, the same 3 things always apply. Say no, try to get away, and tell someone. Okay, yellow team, they have 96 points, and the red team is back in the lead with 104 points. Red team, you've got the most points in this round, so it's your try for the mystery puzzle. Remember, this phrase deals with sexual abuse. Are you ready? Go. We'll need an answer. Hurry, please. I'm sorry, red team. Yellow team, do you have an answer?
Say no, get away, tell someone.
Yes, absolutely correct. And the yellow team gets another 10 points. Say no, get away, tell someone. Of course, that's the safe way to deal with sexual abuse. It's a close match, but before we go on, the final category, we'll take a break for this important message. Stay tuned.
When you got no cash and you're far from home, do you know how to use a phone? First you find a public phone, then you listen for the dial tone. Press the 0, then you wait for the operator to communicate. When she's on the line, you guessed correct to say you want to call collect. Call collect or dial 1-800-I-AM-LOST. Now either way, there is no cost. Now the operator will ask your name and then your number. It's like a game. The operator will help you out to call your home. Just don't freak out. Now if you're not sure what's going down, call Home Collect, even out of town. If all else fails, there is no cost. Call 1-800-I-AM-LOST. Call collect or dial 1-800-I-AM-LOST. 1-800-I-AM-LOST.
All right, this is the final category. It's a very close race, and this will definitely decide who wins the game. And the category is ways adults trick you and kidnapping. Ways adults trick you and kidnapping. The first question goes to Taisha for 2 points each. Name 5 things an adult might say to trick you into going somewhere with them.
I've heard stories where a guy will tell you that he's a photographer and that he'll tell you that you'll be a model if you let him take pictures of you.
Next, right?
Somebody could come up to you and tell you that your mother has been in a terrible car accident and that she's in a hospital and they're there to take you to go see her.
That's right.
Could they say probably to the guys that they have a lot of stuff to unload from a truck and they'll pay you a lot of money if you help them?
Right? We need 2 more, Taisha. Running out of time. Oh, I'm sorry. Real good job. You've got 6 points for your team. Lisa, can you give us 2 more?
Well, they could ask you if you'd help them carry something to their car. Or
1 more.
they could ask you to show them where someone lives.
That's right, for 4 points. And there's other ways to trick you, too. Most of them involve getting into their car or truck. So the thing to remember is always be alert and always think twice before you do anything. And never, ever get into a vehicle with anyone you don't know well. Okay, Daryl, for the next question, you'll need to watch this video, and then we'll ask you a question about it. Let's watch.
Hi, I'm Detective Williams with the Ridgemont Police. Are you Shelley Harrison?
Yeah.
Your friend Susan Williams has been arrested for drug possession. I'd like you to come down to the station and answer a few questions.
Okay.
Okay, Daryl, for 10 points. Did the girl get tricked or not?
Yes, she did.
That's right, for 10 points, goes to the red team. Next question for Daniel. How could she have known this was a trick?
That's easy. It wasn't a police car.
Right, for 10 points. Okay, Juliana, what should the girl have done if she had suspected it was a trick?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of time. Shannon, do you have an answer?
I think she should have said that she wouldn't go anywhere until she sees the real police car.
And she should have called her mom and dad first to get their permission.
Absolutely correct. And remember, while the police are always there to help you, in this kind of situation, the police department would always send a uniformed policeman, and he or she would be in an official police car. Now, Ryan, based on everything we've just talked about, is there a lesson to be learned here to make sure adults don't trick you?
Well, I guess to use your head and not to be stupid like the girl in the video. And don't get dragged off by a bunch of weirdos who pose as policemen or almost anything else.
Judges? Yes, we'll take that answer. Always be cautious and think twice. And for your information, it may not always be a guy. It could be a woman. It could be anyone. Now, the yellow team is in the lead with 132 points, but the red team is just 4 points behind. It's a very close game. Okay, next question deals with kidnapping, and it's a multiple choice question for Sam. Who, Sam, is responsible for most kidnappings in the United States? Is it A, strangers, B, parents, C, friends, D, relatives, or E, none of the above?
A, strangers?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect, Sam. Lisa, red team.
Parents?
Right! According to statistics compiled by Child Find of America, parents kidnap their own kids most often. This one's going for Daryl. Now, why do parents kidnap their own children, Daryl? Is it A, they want to be with their children, B, they don't like the other parent, C, they want to hurt the other parent by taking the child away from them, D, they want to move away, or E, all of the above?
E, all of the above.
That's right. Great answer on a tough question. Nice job. Because it could be any one of those reasons. Okay, Taisha, if one parent doesn't want the child to realize they've been kidnapped, what might they tell them? A, the other parent doesn't love them anymore. B, the other parent died. C, the other parent is in jail. D, the other parent can't afford to have you live with them anymore. Or E, all of the above.
I think it's E, all the above.
Yes, that's right. In fact, the parent who kidnaps the child may say just about anything, and that's all to convince the child that it's okay to stay with them. And the stranger who kidnaps the child might tell them the same things. That's why it's important to be alert and to think. Okay, Juliana, what should you do if you think you are being kidnapped? A, yell and scream if there are people nearby. B, don't buckle your seatbelt. C, get out of the car as soon as it stops. D, if you're near a phone, call the operator and give them the name and phone number so she can find out where you are. And E, all of the above.
Yeah, all of the above.
Absolutely correct. Remember, yell and scream only if there are people nearby. Otherwise, the kidnapper could get nervous and hurt the child. Now, even if you're not sure where you've been kidnapped to, call your parents or your guardian. When in doubt, call home. Always call home. Okay, Daniel, last question in this game. In most cases where a parent kidnaps their own child, why doesn't the child call home and tell someone where they are? Is it A, they don't realize they've been kidnapped? B, they don't want to be found? C, they don't want to go back to their other parent? D, they don't want to go back to their school? Or E, all of the above?
A, they don't realize they've been kidnapped.
Absolutely correct. That's right. And that puts the yellow team up with 152 points, and the red team has 158 points, a very close match. Now for the red team, you've got the most points in this category, so if you can solve the mystery puzzle, you will win the game. Are you ready, red team? And here's the mystery puzzle. You have 10 seconds to solve this mystery puzzle, which deals with ways adults trick you. Ways adults trick you. Ready, go! You've got 5 seconds, red team. Time's almost up. Oh, no, time has run out. Yellow team, this could win the game for you. Do you have an answer?
When in doubt, call home.
Yes, and the yellow team wins the game. A real close game. The red team put up a great effort, and it could have gone either way, but the yellow team got lucky on that mystery puzzle. Great game. Now let's just talk briefly about some of the main points we've covered today. Dangerous places. What are important things to remember about dangerous places, Daryl?
Well, if you're going to pass a dangerous place, you should go over that particular route with your parents first.
Yeah, and you should find out where there are safe places to go in case you run into trouble.
Good. What about strangers, Ryan?
Well, you should never go with a stranger because you never know what they might do to you.
Yeah, remember, you can't tell a good stranger from a bad.
Right. Shannon, what did you learn about kids who are home alone?
I learned that you shouldn't open the door for anyone. And if someone calls, don't tell them their parents aren't home.
Good answer. Sam, how should you handle sexual abuse?
Say no, get away, and tell your parents or somebody, or a teacher.
That's right. But what if they don't believe you, Sam?
Keep trying, because it's never the kid's fault. And if they still don't believe you, go to your friend's mom until somebody does something about it.
That's exactly what you should do. Okay, what else did we cover?
Well, I saw how adults can be very tricky and try to get you to go someplace with them. So I got to be very alert, and before I go anywhere with someone I don't know, I have to ask my mother.
Exactly. Daniel, what did you learn?
Well, the part I remember the most is the kidnapping. It's usually the kid's parent. And if I think I've been kidnapped, I should get out of the car and call my parents.
That's great, guys. You're all a super bunch of kids, but you all know that already. Hey, for all of you watching out there, remember, this is just a game, but the game of life can be far more serious. So always think safety all the time. Be aware of where you're going, who you're with, and all of the other things we've talked about, because everyone's a winner when they play it safe. Thanks for watching The Safety Game. Bye-bye for now.